Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to. Yeah.
Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, one of a kind, What's on your mind, What hard to find, Beautiful mind, Still in my prime, Just know that I'm here.
What's up, guys? Pondoff Anonymous at episode 24.
Yeah. 24. We're here. We're here, not together still.
Yep. Doing a Zoom. And this show is going to be interesting, I think, because Jeff and I, there's obviously an elephant in the room, right?
That's right.
It is June 6th today. It's Saturday. It's the anniversary of D-Day. And I bring that up, Jeff, because, we have shit going on in our country now that countless heroes, absolute fucking heroes, gave their lives in suicide missions to make this world free. And 44 was D-Day, I think?
Sounds right.
And it's 2020, and not all things are equal. And
yep.
And I think that I think it's important to note that all week I've been struggling with this podcast, what we're going to talk about, because I don't ever want to mix it. I try not to mix it with because the mission here is to help people that are struggling from addiction, alcoholism, mental health issues. Find them the help they need. Give them some words of power, encouragement, hope, faith, love. So when shit like this blows up and it's on everybody's mind, all week I've been struggling about. At first I was literally, we had a date set up to record, and we had to push it.
Yep. And
I was fucking relieved when we pushed it, because I didn't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was really fucking literally praying about it. I was like, God, I don't know what to talk about. We were going to have a guest. We kind of pushed that to next week. And the week after, we got guests lined up. But when we pushed this episode, I was relieved, because I did not know what to talk about. And with everything going on, I was like, do I need to go into my old journal entries and find a story about that I've had a personal experience in recovery and drive home a point. It's kind of how we've done it sometimes on these episodes. But I was like, no, I don't. And then now it's Saturday morning. I woke up still with anxiety on what the fuck are we going to talk about, and it hit me, and God was like, you know what to talk about. You got to talk about it. You can't fucking avoid it. And I've known what to talk about all week. And I think part of it was just avoiding it and not wanting to talk about it, because it's a hard conversation in the way discourse is so fucked up in America right now, because it's only happening online, it seems like.
Yep.
Especially during this COVID time where everybody's online, nobody's in small groups, and when we meet when we can get out and go to small gatherings, it's usually in our social circles that look like us and think like us, and there's little challenges.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I was fucking, and I'm always scared to talk about this shit because I'm always afraid I'm going to say the wrong fucking thing because I say the wrong fucking thing at, like, weddings and funerals and or, like parties. I mean, I'm known for saying the wrong thing, and, you know, and there's a real-life fear of, like, fucking cancel culture. Am I going to get canceled? I don't want to. It's just not just a podcast, but if I say the wrong thing, I'm gonna, you know, it gets taken out of context. You see people get fucking smeared, and it's not. They didn't mean necessarily. I don't know. It just is bullshit. For the most part.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's scary to talk about. And I wake up. So this morning after I had that, like, fucking wrestling match prayer, and God was like, dude, you fucking know what to talk about. Mm-hmm. You, like, have to address it. Yeah. It's not going to be, you know, and I'm no fucking wisdom expert, right?
Yeah.
I just have personal stories, personal experiences. I want to have the conversation with you. I want to hear your personal stories, your personal experiences. And we'll go from there. But yeah, so after that, I every morning I go to 3 apps on my phone. It's a routine. I go to my gratitude journal and I write a gratitude note of what I'm grateful for today. I go to my DraftKings app and I claim my daily crowns, because you get free crowns every day, once a day, and your crowns in DraftKings, like, you accumulate them and you can get in contests. It's like, you know, tickets at a fucking arcade.
Uh-huh.
You can buy an entry into a contest with so many crowns. So, you know, I got to get that done. And then I go to my Holy Bible app for the verse of the day, and the verse of the day, go fucking figure, is Psalm 23. You know, the walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fear no evil. That's the verse I wanted to be read at my wedding, and Ashley and Evie vetoed it instantly. But they went with, like, Corinthians or Dorinthians or, you know, Deuteronomy or whatever the fuck. Love shit. So I thought that was pretty appropriate for today, and I'm talking about my personal fears and anxieties with talking on a podcast about race shit, and it's a drop in the bucket compared to what minorities are fearful of. Mm-hmm. So I also want to talk about today, and where the rubber meets the road, on what our mission is for this podcast, is to help people with what I mentioned, addiction, alcoholism, mental health, what I see and what I am finally able to empathize with, and I don't know why it took so long. Okay, there's probably a lot of reasons it took so long. Some that I own, some that maybe weren't intentionally my decision and fault. But I can empathize with fucking anger. I used to be an angry motherfucker, man. And I used to be pissed off. Liquored up and pissed off is what I always say. And anger fuels a lot of... I think I really feel that anger, when anger wins, when anger is in the driver's seat of a person's life, the byproduct of that is often hate. Anger manifests into hate. I've seen that. I know it does. I've hated before. I'm not saying I've hated a person because of the color of their skin or who they have sex with. But I've hated things. I've hated an individual for doing something to me that I thought was a fucking injustice, right? Or like not an injustice, that because I don't want to confuse it. Like that somebody that I thought accosted me.
Sure.
Looked at my fucking girlfriend wrong, and I let anger take over. So I've had a hard time. I don't condone the destruction and the rioting and the looting, but I have a hard time being the one to judge, and I shouldn't, and I'm learning that, because I know anger. I've been angry. I shared with a couple of my friends that a quick story in 8th grade. There was it was a girl that I we were like boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, right, in 8th grade. And a kid thought that I had maybe taken her from him, and I argue that's not true because her and I had been on and off for fucking junior high, right? So, so on Monday, the kid was running his mouth to me that he was going to beat my ass, and the kid was kind of a I don't think I've fucking seen this prick since then, but nice kid. We were buddies leading up to this. Scrawny little fucker, but God bless him. But he was running his mouth to me on Monday. He was going to beat my ass. And I was like, dude, it's cool. I was doing the same thing happened on Tuesday. Running his mouth, he's going to beat my ass. Like in front of people in this junior high wing of our school in Belleville. Wednesday, he was going to beat my ass, right? Thursday, he was going to beat my ass. And I was like, not the guy to do it this, like to, I had gotten in fights. I played ice hockey and I used to try to keep the aggression shit on the ice. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when, I've been known to, every once in a while, fucking, if somebody wants to, chuck some knucks, you got to do what you got to do, brother. Yeah. I was doing it the right way, and it was leading up to Halloween. And then Thursday night on the way home from hockey practice, I told my old man, I said, Tom, this fucking kid, I don't know what to do. I've tried it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday the right way. That the way they teach you. Walk away, walk away, walk away. My old man says, if he says one more fucking thing to you, you got the green light. And Friday morning, I'm at my locker, and he talks shit to me, and then he smiles at me, and he points at his cheek and blows me a kiss. And the light went off, so I threw my books down, and I went and grabbed him, and I pummeled the shit out of him, and I was getting ready to throw him down a flight of stairs, and the teacher in the hallway at the time, looking back, thank God, was the he was the teacher with the I think it was more of a, he was trained to work with children and kids with some special needs, and I have one of my closest, my friend's wives, like a sister, she works in with children with special needs, and they train you like on how to healthy restrain, because a lot of times with kids, if they have tantrums and stuff, and it could be harmful to themselves or other children. So they, basically what I'm saying is they know how to motherfucking restrain someone.
Yeah.
This guy had to come and like put this hold on me to pull me off this kid, and a buddy of mine told me that from a story below, he heard like in the movies, like when somebody gets punched in the face in the movies, you hear that sound.
Yeah.
Like he heard those sounds from like the downstairs, and my old man gave me the green light. I mean that ended the situation. And the reason I bring this story up is not to jerk myself off that I'm a badass, right?
Right.
I'm not, because I've been, and I'll get there, I've been on the other end of ass whoopings, especially in hockey, right? You learn and you live and you learn. But the reason I bring it up, Jeff, is because I tried it, and you might see where I'm going with this. I tried it the Colin Kaepernick way.
Yeah.
I tried it the nonviolent way.
Mm-hmm.
And finally I fucking lost it. And that was fucking over something so stupid, right?
Right.
So I thought about that, man, and I'm like, who the and I'm going to tell you right now, cancel me. I was one of the guys that was not not on board with the Colin Kaepernick shit.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. But then this shit happened, and people are like, fucking see, a black friend of mine on Facebook posted it, something, and I just commented guilty, brother.
Yeah.
That was me. I bring that shit up because I just personally know anger, and if it was one of my businesses that got burnt down, I'd be opposite side of anger. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I don't know I don't have the fucking answers. All I know is that I know anger, and I've been looking inward hard as fuck, and going through the times that I've been a intentional asshole in the past, or just a asshole participating in the system. And it's been a hard week. So
yeah.
I also posted on the Tuesday that people did the
The blackout.
Yes. I caught some shit for it, but I said every black person that I've been friends with or known over the age of 6 has two things in common. One, that they're black, and two, they have a fucking story. All of them. Every fucking one of them has a story. And they don't all know each other, so this is not a corroborated fucking conspiracy.
Right.
Whether the story, and I'm saying like it's singular, I would put my fucking chips on the table that all of them have multiple stories.
Right.
Whether it's an incident with the police, whether it's being pulled over, whether it's not getting approved for a loan, whether it's not having access to a therapist to deal with childhood fucking trauma, whether it's, you name it, whether it's getting not called on at a restaurant, all kinds of, I mean, God, fuck, we could go on and on. They all have one.
Yep.
So it's not all bullshit.
Nope.
And that's a part that am just trying to fucking wrestle with, and it's hard to look inward. It sucks sometimes. It really has been but every time I've been listen, man, I've been humbled a lot by God. We did a whole episode on humility. God's fucking humbled me. I used to be a part of the culture of like athletes and breaking balls, and if a guy or teammate wasn't tough enough, and you refer to him as as gay and shit like that. And it took a cousin of mine who I care for dearly to get fucking, when I think I was coming out of high school, he was waiting for a fucking cab, and 4 guys, just because he was gay, beat the fuck out of him and put him in the hospital, almost killed him. And I fucking snapped. There comes the anger, right? And I was like, and that's what unfortunately, for me to fucking start, using my fucking brain and heart and realizing that, shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
That quote from the Ozarks, Ruthie, she says, I don't know fuck about shit. I don't know shit about fuck. That's how I feel. I don't know shit about fuck, and I don't know fuck about shit. But I know that it's okay. One thing I do know is that it's okay to fucking try to grow and change, and it's not I don't have to dig my fucking heels in on every instant just because and talk about we joke about it often, but Jeff the liberal, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been in arguments with people like on other small shit, but liberals, okay, coming from like the conservative, I don't know if you want to even call me conservative anymore, but I am. I lean that way. I don't know what the fuck I am, but if identify as a conservative, liberals can't be wrong about 100% of the shit that they bitch about, right?
Right, yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. Like, I was in an argument a couple years ago where I was like, just over a family issue, and I was like, I had to sit the people down. And I said, listen, am I 100% wrong all the 100% of the time? That's not mathematically possible. I got to be right about one of these things, right? Because I was getting nowhere.
Right.
So, like, we have people dig their heels in and believe in the shit they believe in, and as soon as you dig your heels in, the fucking ears close, and nobody listens.
Yes, both sides.
And who can come up with the wittiest tweet, and who can? That's discourse now, man. And you know, I think who loses in it all are, for some reason, it seems like the victims of all this shitty fucking discourse are probably the people that are fighting the oppressors, the people that are oppressed that are fighting, that are the ones that get. But I've talked a bit right now, and I can keep going on. But I want to talk. I'm hogging the fucking show, bro. I want you to.
Hey, your name's on it.
Well, nah. I want you to share how you're feeling through this. I think you've been on the front line of this battle for as long as I've known you, and I haven't always agreed with some of the progressive, if you want to call it that, things. But we're still, look at us, we're still fucking friends, right?
Yeah,
hey,
right.
Go fucking figure.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I haven't always been that way either. I grew up in a town that has no black people. You know, no. I mean, I think we had like this is what's really weird. I think our mayor of that small town is a Mexican guy. I don't know how he got elected, and I'm serious. I mean, he's a great guy, but I don't know how the people in that town elected him.
There's hope.
Yeah, I know. And I remember, for me, the turning point was what happened in Ferguson, and you know, I just could see that no matter what you think of the character of person that Mike Brown was, or what he had coming to him, or whatever, there was still some messed up stuff.
Jeff, you can say it, baby.
That went down there, and so I just could see that, you know, something's clicked in my head about that, and then trying to grow through that, I said some wrong things. You know, this whole idea of I don't see color. You know, a lot of people think they're doing good by saying I don't see color. We're all one, the human race. You know, which is a really nice thought, but you not seeing color doesn't help anything. Like, really, I mean, and celebrating diversity is a good thing. You know, there's differences, and those differences are to be celebrated. But over time, being, you know, you said in the front, I've been to protests, and I've seen people who are standing next to me who have literally lost their friends and family because of police shooting them, you know? And I don't mean to like harp on the police, because I don't think that all police are bad, you know?
No, you shouldn't even have to say that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even have to say that.
Yeah. But
you feel that you need to, right? Like, you feel like you need to say that.
That's right. I got to say it because it's assumed about me.
Right. And I get it. And that sucks. Like, one of my best friends in the world is a fucking ATF agent, and he's seen some shit, and he's like, they become a lot of cops, and he's one of the best cops I've ever. Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, you have to say, "Oh, I don't think." I just trust me. I don't think all police are bad.
No,
but
I'll say this about the police, and I'll say this about the police, just like I will about white people in general. Stop being silent. Like, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing cops come out and say we are against police brutality, and you know, there's this whole brotherhood and sisterhood of the police department that you don't rat. Well, that's not okay anymore. Sorry. You gotta, get, if you don't want to be associated with bad apples, then get the bad apples out of there. But anyway, it's like that Chris Rock joke that I think someone sent me. There are some jobs you can't be bad at.
I sent that to you.
I know. I didn't want to say it.
Oh shit. Damn. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just outed myself.
Yeah. You can't be bad at be a bad pilot. Sorry, this percentage of our pilots are not good and you're not going to make it to your destination. Meanwhile, we can't have bad police, Yeah, it's not a it's a thankless job. Like it really is. Like depending on who you are. I mean, a lot of people love the cops, but shoot, it's I can't imagine. It's a crazy job, but at the end of the day, you can take that uniform off and you can choose to be it or not be it.
I don't know, and I'm not a cop, right?
Yep.
But I think it looks to me, and this is an opinion, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't hate me for saying it if you're listening to this. I think that the bad apple cops put the good apple cops' lives in fucking danger.
Yeah.
More than anybody, and because what it happens is now there's like all this. They're they're trying to restrict what police can do, and they can't police effectively the good cops because the bad cops have like caused them. It's fucked up. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words because it's just. Yeah, it's. And I've had some, and I'm talking about cops. I've had my issues with them, especially living the life I did back in my late teens and 20s, just avoiding them. It was your experience with a cop mostly is don't pull me over, right? The only times I've been pulled over and been able to just skate on by, I mean, one time I had a fucking half an ounce of coke taped to my ankle, and I got pulled over and was not asked to get out of the car or anything, and just was like, yeah, I just left the tavern. They asked if I had some drinks. I go, I had a beer after work. Yes sir, no sir to them, and I was on my way. One of the scariest moments of my life.
Right.
And that's a true story. I mean, there's no fucking question that I wonder, and I don't even need to wonder. I know how that would go. Yeah. And then if it does happen, let's say I did go to jail and get arrested, then I would be I call my white lawyers and pay for it to get fucking thrown out or get it pleaded down, and then go to rehab and all set. And,
yeah, man.
I'm not naive that's not the fucking path that happens if I were black and got pulled over with that fucking ball or 2 or 3 or 4 of coke and had been drinking and driving.
Yeah. And I think through all this, I just see myself trying to cool off a little bit because I've been nothing since all week long. I've been pissed, just angry. We talked about this, the anger.
Yes.
And I went off on a guy. I say strong things on Facebook, but I never really fight with somebody. This dude from my hometown, I just lost it on him. I had to delete all of them because I'm like, oh, this will live forever on the internet. But I'm just like, I've never actually done this. I'm like, I just said, you're a dumb guy. You're a dumb guy. You don't get it. You're stupid. And that's so dumb. That doesn't help anything. Not that anything I would have said would have helped it, but I had to. I don't know. It was an aggression thing, and I don't like that about myself. I don't like that I did that, But this was the same day that you had crowds of people peacefully assembled at the White House, a public place, and then Donald Trump had to have a photo op, and so they got rubber bullets, and they got tear gassed to move these people out of the way. And listen, it fired me up because first of all, I'm a Christian, And it pisses me off that somebody, I mean, would use that as a tool of a political tool. No, don't get me wrong. People use Jesus as a political tool all the time. But it was that moment that just really fired me up. And I mean, it's no secret that if I am a liberal, that I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. But I think at that point,
I'm married to a liberal that's not a fan of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And my mother is a liberal that's not a fan of Donald Trump. And we all, for the most part, live in peace and harmony.
Well, whether you like him or not, I don't know how anyone could defend that moment. But
I'm not going to.
Because here I am thinking to myself, like, my parents, I don't know if my parents are Trump supporters. I know that they're not left-leaning, so they probably are. We don't talk about that. But my parents have seen pictures of their son at peaceful protests, exactly like the one that those guys got pepper sprayed and hit with rubber bullets. Mm-hmm. And it makes me wonder if they thought about that. You know, if you can't understand the reason of the protest, can you understand your white family that's protesting there? You know, and what would happen to them? You know, I don't know. Where does it start? Is that a bridge? Is that, I know it's not, I know that most liberal people wouldn't think that's an acceptable bridge, you know? And the other thing is that it's really hard being a left-leaning person, a progressive, because progressives eat their own, like way worse than conservatives do. Like,
really?
You're not progressive the right way. You know, you need to be progressive this way. So,
I've seen that. I have. That's a good point. I've seen that, and I've seen it with some like I've personally seen it with some gay friends that if they aren't gay enough or not wanting to, you know, it, like, I've seen that, and I get what you.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. I never really thought of it until you said it. That's a interesting point.
That's another thing that makes me angry. I'm like, we can't even unite, you know?
Sure.
You know, I don't know.
And no, Jeff, it's like it's okay to be angry. And I'm going to admit when the Ferguson stuff happened, you know, I was on the side of, like, you know, wait till the autopsy comes out, and then it came out that the officer could make an argument that was a fear for his life, right? So, and I do think that that particular police officer his life is probably ruined, and maybe unjustly so. And I was the guy then, like, where that's when the Black Lives Matter movement started, right? And then I remember telling my friends, what is it, 5 years ago? Okay, this is me just being honest and vulnerable. I was like, show, you know, if that went down the way they said it went down, I'd be the first one fucking screaming. Mm-hmm. So, I'm sorry, this happened with George Floyd, and okay, scream, motherfucker, Chris Pondoff. Yeah. You said you would. And yeah. I think that what I've learned now, like, no matter, like, the shit that sucks is, like, it had to come to this guy getting choked the fuck out for 10 minutes, and for me to really, like, have some big time fucking light bulbs go off. And can
I point something else out real quick about that? It's like, it had to be on video, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know what you're going to say. Yeah.
No, it had to be on video, and then how many days before that officer was arrested, and then how many days before the others who were there helping him, because they didn't stop him, were arrested. And why were they arrested? Because of public outcry, because people taken to the streets. That's why they were arrested.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you brought that up, because, like, it took me to be up and, like, pissed off for the oppressed, the people that are fucking bullied, and I hate fucking bullies. It took this video, right, and it shouldn't have, and I am remorseful for that.
But you've also got the video of the old man in Buffalo who was there, and he's an old dude, and these cops just push him down. His head hits the ground. He starts bleeding out of his ear. And in the police report, they said he tripped. But it was on video.
That's...
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine the years, the decades, the centuries of shit that has happened that's not on video, that's been swept under the rug. It's just... And if you can't imagine that, then you're just having a hard time looking, I think, inward. And just, it's okay, like, to look inward and grow, like, because and whether I'm right or wrong about whether I was right or wrong or whatever, it shouldn't have had to take an issue like that for my own, in my personal. Talking about me, I'm not telling other people what to do, because nobody wants to be told what to do, and I think that's a problem too. Is when you see somebody, and like I was there when a white picket fences or security gated neighborhoods liberals would tell me what to do. Fuck you, you hypocrite. Well, I like, and that's what makes people dig heels in, and then there's zero growth, is what I'm noticing in my personal experience. And I will tell you, talking about anger, like I had to tell somebody the other day too that you replaced George Floyd and put Ashley there.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker chokes her out while she's fucking begging for mercy and crying for her mom. I will fucking burn shit down until somebody puts me down like a rabid dog. No fucking doubt. And I don't give a fuck. So, replace George Floyd with anybody that you love. Replace George Floyd with a white person. And, I don't know. And you're right. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on in Minnesota. Holy shit. To like... Yeah. And the good thing is on this one, because there's been so many, right? That's what I think the whole point of this shit is, like, we have to say this one because there's been so fucking many. People, nobody, I haven't seen anybody try to defend these fucking jack off cocksucking fucking police officers.
No. I think the only people who would are the most racist people who are like proud of their racism. I mean,
yeah.
I think we're all racist. Really, I do. I think I'm racist. I think I have racist tendencies that I don't even know that are there. But I think that the proud ones, the KKK, those types of people, and that's the other thing, by the way. It's not helpful to go, oh, I can see that you're a little racist. You Nazi KKK son of a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
that's
doesn't.
Not helpful at all.
That's exactly, in my opinion, what got Donald Trump elected.
Yeah.
It's because if there's a lot of people that when you, maybe like you said, if you're saying that you're probably racist, then I'm definitely, have some, then I am racist, because it's unintentional even, right?
Yeah.
It's because of products of like a system, and now people can take that clip and probably send it all over and we'll be canceled like motherfuckers.
Well,
but whatever. Yeah. I don't care. It'd be
nice to see more people. It'd be nice to see more people who are consider themselves progressive admit their racism.
And I've
so I
like,
don't
know. No, I hear you, and it's like when somebody gets called a racist just for not like voting for Trump, like nothing pisses them off more.
Yeah.
And it's because when they hear racist, they think who you're talking about. They think the KKK fucking rednecks and the fucking squirrel eating Appalachian Mountain farm animal fucking scumbags that hate people, and that's not Christian. But I also think they're like those folks. Their racism's a victim of poverty. They're victims of poverty and anger that. Like letting anger take over, because I've had anger take over my life after my old man died, and that breeds hate, and you just start hating things that aren't you, and it gives you it's like an outlet. I don't know. Fuck, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a smart. I'm not perfect. I'm not any of that shit. I just am trying to have a conversation about this because it's what's going on, and I think conversations need to happen. And I fucking respect and value you so much, and this is a great place to start. I want
I want to throw this out there too, as I want people to know before they call us on it that we're aware that we're white guys, and that the people that I feel like, at least I think we probably both agree that we should look to people of color for direction in this, you know. But if we're all honest, maybe not all of us, but if some of us are honest, my circle is mostly white people.
Yeah.
It just is. And I'm not super, proud of that. I'm not, I mean, I'll get canceled for saying I'm proud of that, but what I mean to say is that we've got a long way to go. And I would like to turn to black leaders and hear from black authors and, about all this. But meanwhile, if I'm not having the conversation with my personal community, then what good is it? I don't know.
No, I appreciate thinking out loud. This is what we're doing, right? We're thinking out loud,
which can be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
no, right? That's funny. Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't want anyone to think that I think that, or that you think that you and I are solving the problems of racism by the two of us talking. But what I do want to say is this is our platform, and to try and make people aware of it, or aware of themselves, or at least aware of where we're coming from, is a good thing. And this is not true for me always, but it's true for me now. I'm not trying to judge like someone who is just figuring this out, because I remember that I didn't have it figured out before, and I still don't. Like, I still don't have it figured out. But really, it's like anything. Like, and that's the other thing. The problem. This is a nuanced situation. Like, it's not. It's not just. I'm trying to think of how to say this because I don't want to say black or white, but that's
right. Yeah,
I don't mean race when I say that.
Pardon the pun. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. Like, for instance, I was having this conversation with someone because I posted on my Facebook that, if you need to like unfriend somebody that you don't even know because they're being racists and it's bringing you down, get rid of them. And someone said, that's real convenient, but, black folks can't just get rid of that in their lives. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. But I struggle really, really heavily with anxiety and depression. And if it's going to bring me to that point, I got to be healthy and stay healthy. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. Maybe I need to sit in that anger, or maybe I need to sit in that uncomfortable, that place of discomfort. But that's what I mean by nuanced. There's just more to it than that. Like, there's more to it than our quick quips on Facebook.
Yes, like in the world of perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, the black people can't just unfriend, right? And but I'm going to tell you what I tell when it comes to that shit, and then people get shamed. Oh, you can't handle another person's opinion. No.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole fucking serenity prayer. Okay. Accept the things you cannot change and give the power to change the things that you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to have that in your life. You don't. It's up to you. And you don't have to be a glut for punishment. And you can unfriend whoever the fuck you want, so you don't have to even engage. And who cares what people say? Like, you can say, I don't. Yeah. So that's one of the things you can control. And that's for your mental health. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
And people, for some reason, like, I don't understand how it exists today, but the comment sections on like the local paper online or the news, like, where the fuck do these people come from? And unless on smaller topics, like you really can read them if you're in a good mental place for some major fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
If you could get past the part of how sick some of these fucking jack-offs are, and that they're actually out there and potentially a neighbor. But I don't know, man. It's just so like my whole thing, and I'm not telling anybody what to do because I have to start inside. I want to try to be better every day at things, and especially something like this. One thing I've stopped doing. Well, my anger has dissipated so much in my whole life since I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
And when that you know what happened? Like for some reason, it's a direct correlation that my listening's gone up, and I listen to leaders, to people I respect more. I don't do it great. I should have listened. It's a work in progress, right? And I try, I fail, I try again, I fail, I try again, I fail. But I have listened more to people and to people that think differently, because I have to, and I have to be intentional about it, that they can't be wrong all the time. It's mathematically impossible for whether you the Democrats or the liberals, like we kid around about, it's mathematically impossible for them to be wrong 100% of the time. 100% wrong 100% of the time. It's fucking not possible. So those are just some revelations I've had, and this whole podcast, man, is about second chances. Like if you were an asshole before, let's use this to be your new slate. Let's not be an asshole anymore if we don't have to. Let's be better. Let's use this as a second chance and beg for, hope and grace and mercy forgiveness, grace from, and not everybody's going to grant you a second chance, which you can't control that, but use this as I believe in second chances. I've had, and I think with God you can have unlimited second chances. Like, it's a whole confession shit, and the whole like just turning it over and handing it over to God, and then doing God, like doing that. And know that you're gonna fall down again, and you can get up again, and just try to be better. Like that's what I'm telling myself every fucking day. And do I think? Do I think the world's ever going to be perfect? No, I don't. I don't think.
Right. I
think that's when we leave this world, we enter that. But it's our job, man, to have conversations like this, to definitely listen to people and their stories. And I mean, we all have personal experiences. Like that's how our lives are really defined. And you hear a lot about, I've heard, I guess, and I don't know if you have, and you probably, I'm sure you have, it's online or Twitter or fucking shitter, ditter, whatever the fuck, that, slavery was so long ago, it's not I didn't do it. Like, oh, no shit, genius. Like, I get it. And I'm not saying it, I don't want culpability for it, but I can empathize with generations of black Americans having some feelings towards that shit. And I say that because I am I am like so righteous about like my Italian heritage. I fucking have Italian shit all up. I wear it. I love it. My dad was Italian. My mom's Irish, and her father was Irish, and I respect the Irish, but my fucking all my eggs are in Tom's basket. I'm Italian, fucking shit. God damn it, I'm Italian.
There's something cooler about that, anyways, right?
Well, I don't know. There was some more. I grew up with more Italian. My uncles, my great uncles, and I have so much pride in that lineage. And if somebody fucking shits on one of them, I'm gonna go fucking off.
Yeah.
Imagine if my great uncles or great aunts or great 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 grandfathers were the lineage that Black Americans have.
Yeah.
And I probably went to imagine if my grandpa was fucking shit on or fucking fire hosed or.
Yep. Imagine
just
if
one generation. I think you posted something the other day that said, "Know this girl. She was the first black woman that went to a school in Louisiana. She's 65."
That's right.
Right.
And my friend
65.
Jan, you know Jan, she's on a care ministry team with you. She goes, "That's how old I am." You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. So when they went to so it's not that fucking long ago. It's not 300 years ago.
No.
And people are fanatic, right, about their family history, about their things that they love. And if somebody slights even a sporting team, think, okay, I'm a sports guy. If somebody today talks shit about a Blues player from the late 60s when we came into the league, I'm gonna get pissed.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive in '67. I didn't know the motherfucker personally, but he wore a blue note.
Yeah.
So if somebody talks shit about him, oh, that guy was a dirty hockey player, I fight for that guy.
Yeah.
So I can only fucking imagine how it would feel if it was my grandpa that got fucking assaulted, attacked, fire hosed.
And that's why they're pissed about that, but they're still pissed because of George Floyd.
Right. And
it didn't stop, man. That's it. Just didn't stop. People are better at hiding it, maybe. I don't know. Here's the thing. Something Brittany said. Did you see Brittany's post on Facebook? She had a great...
I think I did, and I think
a great thought.
It,
and this was the line that I loved that she said. And this is why I'm kind of learning to try to take it. I'm not taking it easy on people who are proud of their racism, but I'm taking it easy on people who are trying. You know what I mean?
Right.
She
Chris
said
Pondoffs.
Well, she said you can't criticize someone into understanding. And that's just it. My thing, I just want to be such an asshole all the time because I'm so bitter. And so, I just want to can I do the funniest, nastiest tweet at you to make you feel like an idiot or make you look like an idiot. I just don't care anymore. I don't want you to look like an idiot. I mean, I'm pissed and I'll probably retweet that stuff. But
nobody's perfect.
No, I don't need to make you look like an idiot, because if you are an idiot, you already look like an idiot. But I don't know, man. I'm hoping that people are don't feel personally attacked by the fact that I think that racism is bad. Don't feel personally attacked that I think that police are killing black people, and meanwhile you've got these dudes who are shooting up schools, walking out in handcuffs, all chill. Mm-hmm. But you can't pass a fake 20 that you might not have even known was fake. You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm pissed. Mm-hmm. But I'm also trying to be understanding.
No, and here's what I'm hearing you do. You're listening, right?
Yeah.
Your wife made a good point, because I think when people get criticized or called out or there's a battle of who's wittier on Twitter, it just drives a wedge. It doesn't build any fucking bridges, and it doesn't help that person that may have some room for growth even fucking consider it. I used to be that, fuck that. And there's fear. I know there's people, a lot of stuff is driven by fear. It's no doubt that people are scared of black men. And I don't mean to make a generalizing statement, and that causes reclusiveness. I mean, mm-hmm. it's there's and I don't think I'm blowing a hot take. That's here or a real bold fucking shit statement, but there is that fear exists, and I think that that, and I understand it. I don't understand. I'm gonna listen. I want to listen to. I've been to the point. People know not to drive through East St. Louis at nighttime, right?
Right.
North City at night. Like, that's all brewed by fear. So what do we do about that? I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Yeah.
I think talk about it. I think continue this discourse. I think we didn't say this on the podcast yet, but I think we were talking about it like before the show started on. When the powder keg of what's going on right now settles, when the smoke clears, I really hope this movement still has legs, and I think it'll have legs it needs people like white people like me, Jeff, you were already there. I think like me maybe to help keep that, and because. Well, I think they've been the minorities have been screaming long and hard and doing it peaceful, and for a long time. And a lot of stuff, when the next news cycle happens and there's the next story, then people forget about it.
Yeah.
So hopefully and I take that some ownership in that. So there's no question that.
Dude, me too. You know what I mean? Because we just can't. I mean. Whatever happened to COVID-19? That's still out there,
right?
But we've forgotten about it,
And I know there's people out there that are so, and I one of them that are distrustful of a lot of national media and how it frames our country's conversations. Like, we need to take back that everybody, people need to take because like right now there's no COVID, right? Because it's all fan and rioting flames that you see, and but we're not going to solve everything on an hour-long podcast, or I should say we're not going to solve anything on a hour-long podcast. But we had to talk about it, and
I think what I would say is, for me at least, what am I going to do now? You know what I mean? And I know one thing I'm going to do. Is there's a book that I've been avoiding reading that I'm going to get, and it's called White Fragility.
Okay.
It's called White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. And it's by an author named Robin DiAngelo. And I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to read it. I'm not much of a reader.
Yeah. Give me the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, I'm going to read it and go from there. And that's the other thing is like, who, I can scream all I want, but I just don't have that big of a circle of black friends or black leaders in my life, and
right.
And I need to do something about it.
Okay. I think that's, I look up to that, follow your lead. I appreciate you sharing that, because the whole point, like, this whole podcast is just us thinking out loud, and
that's right.
And
please don't ruin our lives.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have their pitchforks up at me and are going to try to call me out for being a hypocrite, and I'm not. Do whatever you want. I'm just recognizing that I've done it wrong for a long time, and I'm recognizing that there's a fucking big problem, and shame on me for not noticing it sooner, not being a better listener earlier, and I want to do better. I have great, I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Sorry, there's something in my mouth. They can call me whatever. I mean, this is me looking inward, man. This isn't me judging any of you people, but I need to look inward, because anger is one of the top emotions that people go through in addiction and alcoholism and mental health, and it's another thing that we all have in common. We all have anger and struggle with it, and And that's one thing that everybody can look at, is when they were angry and how it felt and what they were angry for, and try to and maybe do some inward looking on how we can be more empathetic towards people that are struggling with anger, whether it's people that have been oppressed for so long, or people that are angry that are fueled by alcoholism or addiction, and how it all plays together. But
yeah, can I share a quote real quick?
Yeah, please.
So there's a quote. It's by a guy. He's a white guy, and his name is Jon Acuff, and he's a Christian author and a speaker. And I've seen him speak. And he said this at a conference I was at, and it was applying. It was a media conference, so it was like getting started in like the early stages of doing like cool digital shit for church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it applies here, and it applies to sobriety, and it applies to mental health. But it's just simple, and you've probably heard something similar to this, but this was his quote. It says, "Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle."
I love that, actually, because I know thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and I think that applies, to this conversation, to addiction, to mental health. People are doing better than me, but they were at the beginning, right? So
that's perfect. I've seen that, like you said it earlier, about when progressives cannibalize each other with that.
Yeah.
It kind of applies there. And I've seen it in like, and I've heard Matt talk about it at church, like people's faith journey. Like, you're not a good enough Christian yet. Like, kiss my good enough ass. Right?
Yep.
Because it's good enough, motherfucker. But yes, That's great. That's a great quote. And we should, we'll put that in the show notes, because I think that's powerful.
Yeah.
And I also, Ashley was saying, and I know I'm going to close her up here in a minute, but Ashley said something, she shared me something, it was called, and it was a lengthy entry, I don't know, it's called Trouble the Narrative. It was I believe some author penned it that she follows, and it was, I'll send you that, but it was Trouble the Narrative about, because I've seen it on the other side. They're always troubling narratives. Oh, the media is pushing this narrative. Well, there's it works both ways. So there's this was a good one. It's doing nothing for the listeners now because I can't recite it, but maybe I'll send it to you. I know, but if you just want to look it up, I think it's called Trouble the Narrative, and it was it was a thought-provoking fucking piece of writing. That's what this shit's supposed to do.
Yep.
But yeah, man, you got it. Is there anything else that you want to say on this topic? I mean,
I don't think so. I think this is if you're a far lefty, go easy on us, because we probably agree with you. Mm-hmm. But if you're a far, I just don't want someone to think that, we might be saying the wrong things. We just might be.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know, but we want the same thing. We want violence against, against minorities to end. I just want it to end. I want peace, man. I just do. There's no reason. I'm not some liberal because I don't feel like I'm a liberal because I'm hateful. I feel like I lean that way because that tends to be the way that people who socially want peace and want acceptance. That's just really the simple truth of it.
Sure. Yeah, I was telling people are scared to talk about this, because we just are scared to say the wrong thing when because like, to have the conversation, you have to and this is just where how I feel like I would have to go into a conversation about racism and be so careful that I didn't say the wrong thing because I didn't want to. Because I say the wrong things a lot, right? And it's not my intention. So, and I think a lot of white people, the progressives, the liberals that go into these conversations so guarded and so scared that they're going to say the wrong thing when sharing their feelings, and it's not safe, and then there's a lot of risk to that. It's a risk-reward analysis, pretty simple, because I did the analysis all week internally on having this thinking out loud conversation on this podcast today.
Yep.
And every sense of my business mind said, run the fuck away. Don't even touch it. Don't touch it with the 10-foot pole. Don't touch it with Jeff's dick. Don't touch it with John's dick. Don't touch it with Jack's dick. Don't touch this topic.
Yep.
That was, but I could not do it. And I may regret it. I'm praying not, because I'm as flawed as anyone out there. But I can do better, and I want to do better.
And I'll never regret trying to be better. You know.
And I appreciate you saying that, because that's something I should hang on to. I just it's just a conversation, and people are welcome to contribute to it on our Facebook page, or email me at cpondoff@pondoffsanonymous.com. And I say that with the hope that it's a conversation with grace and
Yep.
The eye on the ball here. But yeah, man, we couldn't avoid it, and we needed to have the conversation. I'm glad we did, because I right now feel great about I feel good about talking about it as with you, and I just hope that some people out there can resonate with how we feel, because we don't get it right all the time, or I don't get it right most of the time, but I'm just trying, man. So I hope there's some grace and some love out there and all that feely good shit. And I have two of my best friends. One of them has a half black daughter, right? I don't know, a mix. I don't know how to say it, because I'm gonna want to get fucked up. And then my other one has a son and I love them like they're my own nieces and nephews, right? And Charlie went to Charlie's first school. He was like the only white kid in his school, and people, we would say, like, it's so good for Charlie, and people are like, it's also, well, how awesome is it for Chris? Like, the most amazing human beings in the world that I met, that Charlie's like three most influential teachers came to his adoption after he had already moved to like the white school in Webster.
Yeah.
They're earth angels, and just learning, man, and I'm grateful for God's nudges and his help with me through this shit personally, and I'm praying to him to help this fucking country and this world out, and I know that he's hard at work, and on that, Jeff, Ashley, as I close here, Ashley was telling me about an author that she follows. You guys and your fucking authors, I follow porn stars, you know, who also have wisdom from time to time. You and Ashley and your authors. Point being, you see all the time online that slap me into next year. Can we just skip over 2020?
Right. Yeah.
2020 is awful. I can't wait till. And the lady, I'm pretty sure it was a female author, said, maybe 2020 is the most. I'm going to use my words.
Yeah.
I'm going to credit her. She said that 2020 might be the most important year. And maybe, I think she's right. I think 2020 this year could be our most fucking important year yet. Because shit's just fucking blown up. I think God said, this is it. I'm fucking, this world, I'm blowing,
Yeah.
You guys got to figure this shit out. Figure it out with the virus, with everything that's going on, with the whole race shit, racism, fucking nasty, ugly ass head rearing. I said that all jumbled, which I often do, but maybe 2020 is the most important year yet. Maybe finally, because of all this shit that it's bigger than us. It's bigger than us as individuals. It's forcing us to look inward. Start there and come out of this with some changes and some fucking growth. I really feel that, and I thought that was I think that's a powerful message, and I think she's right. I think it is maybe just our most important year yet.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, I really appreciate the conversation, man. And I appreciate your humility. I appreciate your vulnerability, your honesty, your thoughts. This was, it's funny how I wanted to avoid it like the plague, but and here we are, and I'm glad and grateful that we had this conversation. It needed to be had. I think we might lose some listeners, but it is what it is, man. And I'm not sorry for talking about it and trying to figure shit out and think out loud. So thank you, and I know you're praying hard for the world for justice, and I am too, and I do pray that God uses that really instills in us that this year may be our most important year in a long time. That the fucking heroes of D-Day, back as this is the anniversary of D-Day, did what they did and went on that suicide mission for most of them to make this world look better than what it looks like in 2020. It has to. Mm-hmm. We owe it to them, and maybe God, our eyes are open. In Jesus' name, man, let us pray. Thanks, everyone.
If you're struggling or know someone that is, please have them check out our podcast and reach out to Chris or me. We want to listen, and we're super eager to help. Pondoff's Anonymous is Chris Pondoff and produced by me, Jeff Allen. Our music is Anti-Hero by McCall and Gentle Waters by Wild Wonder. For more information, visit pondoffsanonymous.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram.